Hampshire. I'm actually from Somers, New York originally, but I've been living up in New Hampshire for a while. So we were talking about, somebody was talking about autism in the spectrum before, and I guess I might be on the spectrum somewhere. I was driving by on the way here, and on this neighborhood sign I saw, it said, "Caution, child with autism in the area, drive slow." And I mean, that's a very considerate sign to have. I have no idea how they knew I was going to be driving by. But I mean, I don't technically have autism, but they're not going to have a sign that says Asperger's anything. That would be way too hilarious. They're not going to have an Asperger's sign. Anyway, I have my Turkish friend here. He's actually filming right now.
Yep.
He just got here from a very far away place. I met this kid because I was playing heavy metal guitar and then smoking a joint, and he came down to smoke this joint with me because he wanted to, because smell rises, and he was up on a higher balcony. We worked at a ski mountain together, but he came in the summer when the snow was gone, and I hated my life. But I pretended to love it for him. As a snow Viking. I had a great time. His buddy actually came back a second time because he had so much fun and worked with us again. And now he's here again, and we're having fun in New York. Are we having fun in New York?
Yeah.
We're having fun in New York.
We are.
I wanted to tell a story about when I was living illegally in Spain during the Trump administration, because my friends and I said we were going to Canada, and I lied to them and went to Spain. I was working and volunteering for this hostel and doing pub crawls and stuff like that, and actually making money and doing pretty well in the southern region of Spain in Malaga. And me and my tall, 7-foot-ish Czech Republic friend were chilling, drunk, 3 in the morning, and we see our Polish friends on, and I'm a quarter Polish, and 75% Irish, so I feel their silly, goofy, drunk blood. I have it in me. And we're standing there talking about God knows what, because we're both skaters. And we see these Polish people hoofing a couch over their heads loud. We heard them from around, coming around, we heard them, and they round the corner. And they just have a ornate white couch, the 4 or the 5 of them, with 3 other Polish girls just walking next to them. And we know them because they work at a different hostel. And so we decide to help them. We get to the flat. Long story short, we decide it does not fit in the elevator. It doesn't fit in the elevator. So we're taking it up the stairs. Problem is, it's basically the equivalent of a spiral staircase, but with square corners. So I don't know if you guys know much about Polish people, but if they're drunk, they don't care about being loud, and other people's feelings don't matter. So this is kind of what we're doing. We're like, and at this point, the quarter of me that is Polish has become 100% Polish, and I was like, we just need to push up the little floor. And then I don't know how many floors we went up. It's probably different numbers when you're in Europe. It was I don't know, 4 Celsius floors, which is probably 10 floors. So when we get to the top, they basically just told us to do shots of vodka with them, and we slept on the tall kid that didn't really help, that was just scraping his head, he's pushed with my Czech friend. He slept on the couch. I slept on the floor. It was a fun night. Anyway, you're not supposed to stay in other countries longer than you're supposed to pass a visa, but they didn't really tell me that, and I just kept kind of working. And then so they were like, you should go to Barcelona. And I said, that's a great idea. This is 2017. And then I get there, and they're like, hey, just so you know, we're about to start rioting because of stuff. And I was like, that's cool. Why? And they're like, well, we don't want to be part of this country anymore. I'm like, I speak Spanish fluently, and I know the history of this, and I'm like right now, you guys aren't just putting up the flags everywhere because of like pride. You're like, no, and I'm like, so literally, I left, and there started to be riots, and that's not the funny part. The funny part is I went back to Malaga where I started, and everybody there just no longer trusted me. I knew all these skateboarder kids. I went back to go skate with them, and they're all being like, what? They're just not being cool to me anymore. And I realized that they never thought I left Malaga. They just thought I was in jail for like fucking 5 months, and I got out and was just like, hey, what's up? And I'm trying to skateboard with them, and they're just like, I don't know if you know what they treat Irish people like over in Europe, but it's like here, but 1911-ish. That's like the general like.
The paddy wagon.
No, you know what's the funniest part about a paddy wagon? This is my favorite story from Spain. We got searched constantly as skateboarders by the Policía Nacional around 2-ish a.m. just because we're skateboarders out at 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not working anymore, and they want to smoke weed, and they're Spanish cops. So they search you, and they're like, oh, like there's no problem, like we just saw you